All right. What's going on, party people? This your man Griff. Wow. Yeah. Today's a light day. Only 2 signings and 1 house inspection. But never know, something else might pop in. Man, many of y'all probably, I don't know, might not have, was on the Clubhouse last night, and it was real interesting. Really interesting conversation about being ignorant of the laws and how you can get in trouble because you may not know. And a lot of people just don't understand the importance of knowing the notarial laws over trying to know what the documents say or how to point out stuff in the documents and all of that. And one of the things that people, to me, it's an excuse to have a training program or to be teaching people what to say about the documents is this: well, they don't know what their interest rate is. What if they ask you their interest rate? One of the easiest ways to deal with that is you have the closing disclosure there up at front. That's the first document you go over. As soon as you get everything, you get your IDs, this and that, bam, closing disclosure. Here's the loan amount. Here's the principal and interest payment. Here's the loan amount, interest rate, principal and interest payment. Boom, boom, boom. After that, you have the note. Here's when your first payment is due. Boom, boom, boom. I mean, you have that right out the bat. You show that to them. You see this, you see that. Boom. All people are getting hung up on what to say about the documents, and the only things that people say consistently that a notary needs to know when it comes to the document is you should be able to show them what the interest rate is or where to find it. Okay, here's a closing disclosure. Bam. Which they got that 3 days ahead of time. And that's the part that I don't understand. If they got the closing disclosure 3 days ahead of time, minimum, how do they not know what their interest rate is or where to find it? And a lot of people actually do know where to find it because they'll say, hey, can I see the CD? Now, I like what Q said. Q, Captivated Notary, said what he does is when he was doing loan closing, he just puts the CD at the top of their package and gives them their package. And that's an easy fix. So if they need to know what their interest rate is, you take the CD, you put it at the top, and then right behind that, you put the note, which has when the first payment is due. How simple is that? But you're spending all your time and money trying to learn what to say about the documents. And the easy fix is put the CD at the front, put the note at the front, and even put a little tab on there on the first page of each and say, hey, go to that tab, and that's the CD that says the interest rate, and go to that tab. And then you can even put an arrow on the copy that they have that tells them when's your first payment is due. Problem solved. Now the question is, do you know how to notarize the rest of the documents when applicable? Do you pay attention to make sure they initial where they're supposed to initial? Do you make sure they date when they're supposed to date? That's what we're there for. What else is there to say about the documents from a notarial standpoint? What else is there I need to guide them and tell them and show them from a notary standpoint? There is nothing. Well, they need to know when they're late paying. It's on the deed. And most people don't even think about that because they're not trying to be late on their loan. Well, I want to show them a breakdown of the fees they paid. Is that really what we're supposed to be doing? Because the fees that they're supposed to be paying, that should have been covered. Well, that's covered in their CD, and that CD should have been read by them ahead of time. And that's what the title and the loan officer discusses with them. So if those conversations are being had prior to me getting there, why do I need to be focused on making sure I have the same conversation again? And especially if I'm doing a last minute signing, I just got the documents, or even if it's not last minute same day, but it could be, hey, we got something tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. You finding out at 9 o'clock at night that they got an 8 a.m. one. They don't get you the documents until 1 in the morning because let's say they're California time. You sleep, you wake up, there's the documents, boom, you go. You don't even have time to review everything, but you're supposed to be able to explain it to them. And then the question that I asked in the Clubhouse, and please, y'all take time out, go to Star McQueen's Super Notary Mom on Clubhouse and listen to last night. I asked some questions, and you'll notice that I didn't get any answers. one question I ask: who's training me? Who has training out there that will really prepare me to be able to deal with the various different types of documents from the various different types of loan companies and more entitled people and all of that, so that I could actually explain or guide or point to, because a lot of people, they have their stuff different, just like the compliance agreement, the limited power of attorney, corrections agreement. Those three documents, they got 4 or 5 different versions of those. And it's like, okay, well, where do I get those 4 or 5 different versions so that I can study them and be ready to guide them through them? And that's a lot of knowledge and information that you got to have in your head before you get started with this business. Another question that I asked was, I'm just making sure this police ain't scoping me out. I don't really like the fact that he over here by me, but there ain't too much I can do enough. I don't want to seem suspicious if I leave. But, you know, that's the question that I'm trying to figure out. Who is out there training us to that level to be able to explain this stuff? And there's really nobody who is really training us to that level. So while we focus on something that we probably don't even need to be doing, it's not in accordance with our state law. You know, how many people are getting blacklisted because they don't explain the documents? We're getting blacklisted because we're not notarizing correctly, making sure stuff gets dated, all of that kind of stuff. That's what we get in trouble for. And a lot of notaries are hung up on what I call the this extra stuff that people are telling us to do, but we're not focused on the basics of what we're supposed to do as a notary so that we can go out here and do this job. You know, notaries are out here struggling. They're hurting. They want to make some money. They done invested in this business, but they're all jammed up because in their head, they've been told, I got to know this. And they're trying to figure out, how do I know this? How do I learn this? Then when they get an opportunity and the loan documents come in and they see 125 pages, all of these different docs, and they're stuck. And they're like, how do I go about explaining? How do I go about sharing? How do I go about letting somebody know ... What can I say? What can I do? How do I supposed to be able to do? I'm new at this. But you've told them they have to know this. You've told them a good notary knows these things and can do these things about the document. They put Instagram pictures up and all of that kind of stuff in YouTube and Facebook and all that of people. I'm showing you the document. I'm pointing these things out and I'm educating the signers and I'm making sure they know what this. My thing is, how come they don't know? And if I'm supposed to know how to make sure they know, then yes, maybe I should get paid a whole lot more, because I'm doing somebody else's job of making sure this person knows something, and you've been working with them as a loan officer, escrow people for maybe 3 months, and they get to me on today, and you mean to tell me they have no clue as to what's going on? And now I got to make sure that before they sign anything, they understand this document. But then my state law, Code of Virginia, says I'm not supposed to help somebody understand a document or a transaction that I'm notarizing. Which one is it? So there's all this extra people are telling us and telling you to put on your role as a notary, and it can get you in trouble. Or even if it doesn't necessarily get you in trouble, in all honesty, it can be holding you back. It can be holding you back because you are timid about doing this business because you don't feel confident in what people have told you you're supposed to be able to do, that they brag about, that they do. But I will guarantee you, the people who brag about the documents and what they know about the documents and what they share about the documents, they're fully confident and capable of notarizing the documents. You're not fully confident in notarizing the documents and understanding the different nuances about split signings and all of that. So that's what you need to get down pat and everything else will fall in place. But when you try to learn the documents and this, that, and the other, and you don't know how to do your job that you took an oath and you rose your hand to be commissioned to do, that's where you get stuck at. So if y'all get a chance, listen to the Clubhouse. I asked some pointed questions. People were making some statements. They said they walked it back after me and some other people questioned them about it. But people were saying they took an oath to be a signing agent. You don't take oaths to be signing agent. You know, they were saying that, you know, the standard of conduct book from the NNA trumps state law. No, it doesn't. You know, and my thing is that if that person is thinking that, there's others who are thinking that, and that's a concern to me. And granted, they said, yeah, well, okay, I see what you're saying. They backed it up. But prior to that conversation, or had they not ever said that publicly and somebody questioned them about it, they still believe that that's what they thought, that's what they've been saying, that's what they've been sharing, that's what they've been living and executing in their life. And how many more people are out there thinking that your state law doesn't trump this other stuff, that what these other people say is more important than your state law? That's the extra. That's what's getting people in trouble. That's what's stumping people, because notaries have called me and told me I'm reading my state law, and the stuff that's being said that I'm reading in my state law versus the stuff that's being said online and in these private Facebook groups and with these trainers don't match. They don't match, and I'm confused. And when they ask those people who made these statements about that, they have nothing to say. They don't clarify. They don't say anything. Or if they do, it's like, well, you know, that's just the way I do things. Oh, so really what this is about is you're doing this based off of how you feel and what makes you feel good, what you like. Got it. So, hold on. House inspection came in. Missed it. So that's what's going on. Be careful of the extra. And if you're doing stuff, people out here, because that's just how you are, that's your personality, that makes you feel good, that's fine. But let's get with state law first. Let's stick with the state law and move forward from there, and then see whether or not the extra you add in even needs to be added in. It don't take a whole lot of extra to do this business. It's a simple business. Execute it in accordance with your state law. Everything else will fall in place. But if you're trying to do all this extra to make yourself feel good, to make yourself look good, to make yourself seem like an influencer, you might be taking people down the wrong road. Tell me what y'all think in the comment section. I really want to know what your thoughts are on everything that I said. And take time out and go over to Clubhouse and look up Super Notary Moms, and you'll see the replay for last night. Talk to y'all later. Peace.